So back in April, it was announced that Disney put the kibosh on any development of their live-action reboot for Tangled. This originally came out as the animated movie in 2010 before everything went to shit, and they were developing a live-action adaptation. However, only 2 weeks, I believe, after the theatrical release of live-action Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, Disney said, we're halting everything. They went into code red.
Until we figure out what the hell is going on.
Until we can figure out what the hell is going on. And it turns out that what the hell was going on is just that you need to cast the right person for the role.
Shocking.
First of all, someone who is not a nightmare to work with, a nightmare on their press run. And secondly, someone who actually looks like the character in question. Rachel Zegler was neither of those things. Mm-hmm. And admittedly, Rachel Zegler can't take all of the blame for the failure of Snow White. They did actually strongly reduce the marketing spend for the movie at the last minute before it came out.
Yeah, because they knew it was a foregone conclusion. There was no need to waste the money.
And they also kind of just let the media run with the narrative that it was her support for Palestine that people were boycotting the movie because of that. That's total BS. Like, it was always about her talking shit about the original story and her being an annoying feminist. It had nothing to do
unpleasantness
with her being pro-Palestine. And it also, of course, was related to her statements about people who voted for Trump, saying, you know, I hope that you never know peace.
It was like today, there was this comment from Martin Sheen, who played the president on West Wing, who's like, Trump needs to like learn to be a human. And I'm just like...
He needs to be a decent effing human.
I was like, bro.
So, yeah, that was back in April that development was stopped indefinitely on the live-action Tangled. And before that announcement was made, there were tons of rumors about who would be cast as Rapunzel in the movie. Lots of people vying for a South Asian actress specifically to play Rapunzel.
Wait, didn't they want it to be that girl?
Actress, whatever you prefer to call it.
Didn't they want the girl from
the girl who played
Girls?
race-swapped Karen in Mean Girls?
What was her name?
The musical.
She was like one of those. She got like a one-word name, like Madonna.
I forget her name. It's not relevant. They just, all they really cared about is Rapunzel being played by an Indian chick, and then Disney realized they needed to rethink their priorities and make money off of these movies. So they had to stop and regroup for a while. They're now reportedly walking back a lot of their DEI initiatives. They're kind of rewording things. So it's like, DEI is actually for everyone now, including whiteys.
Yeah, they're lying as always. They're just hiding it, and it's being obfuscated more thoroughly.
This is the headline from Daily Mail. Disney is set to hire a white actress to star in its latest reboot after dumping DEI. And Robbie Starbuck said, never forget that wokeness got so ridiculous that it's now actual news story that Disney is hiring a white actress for a white role after they lost $50 million plus casting a leftist Latina as Snow White. It was actually more than that. It was maybe even more than double
very
50 million what they lost on it. If you add in the marketing budget, they probably lost upwards of $100 million on Snow White.
That's not very progressive either. I was told over the weekend on X, or at least I read that you're supposed to say Latine, which is supposedly the gender neutral.
I thought it was Latinx. Is it not Latinx
No,
anymore?
it's Latine, Latine.
I'm learning new things every day.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So that person is a bigot.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Disney is reportedly set to ditch its DEI-focused casting and hire a white actress for its latest live-action reboot as the company attempts to end its run of box office bombs. Now, specifically, I think they reanimated the live-action Tangled project after the massive success of the live-action Lilo and Stitch movie, which has made the most money of anything in the box office in 2025. You said at least until the next Avatar installment comes out.
Lilo and Stitch did really, really well. Minecraft did really, really well.
So they got too big for their britches, and they thought they could, like, you know.
Well, people were like, I saw this article the other day. They were talking about how Warner Brothers became the first studio of the year to reach $4 billion cumulative box office And like as if written by some propagandist at Disney. At the bottom of it, it had like an asterisk and it said like Disney will hit this mark with the release of Tron Legacy and Avatar. Well, Tron Legacy is a freaking wash. I don't know what you're talking about with that, but this was like a month ago that I read this. But yeah, Avatar will.
Tron Ares, rather.
What did I say? Tron Legacy. Yeah. Tron sucks.
Same difference.
Tron suck. That's what it is. That's so the point is like it was written in this way that was supposed to be like, well, Disney's going to catch up to them this year.
Get their mojo back.
Yeah.
The poor box office showing for Snow White led Disney to shelve its plans to remake Rapunzel, fearing a woke rebrand of the blonde-haired character could repeat its dismal showing. But now the movie has been relaunched, fueling speculation over who could be cast to hinge the blockbuster's fortunes on. And you suggested McKenna Grace. A lot of people have floated her as an idea. But then I thought about it and I was like, wow, she's really the only cute Gen Z white actress. Like there's literally no one else.
There is precedent for her because, say what you want about Frozen Empire, but the whole of Ghostbusters Afterlife really did hinge on her. The most screen time. You've spent most of your time with her as a character, and she brought the charm to that movie that made the ending of the third act with the original actors actually work. In a Stranger Things world, she was at least the because it had what's his name, Finn Wolfhard in it as well. But she was the one who carried that movie, and she's kind of evolving in Hollywood. And she, maybe she doesn't even want to do that. Maybe she doesn't want to be part of the Disney machine. But
I couldn't get past the fact that she looked strikingly like Ella Emhoff
she
in
does.
the movie.
She does.
That weird scene that
at the time, I didn't even know who Ella Emhoff was. I just knew that, there was the picture of her that said, Kamala Harris's stepdaughter looks like every character of Seinfeld put together. Yeah. And that always made me laugh. But she does in that movie.
Also, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a weird scene with, a bunch of jokes about a BDSM room in the Ghostbusters movie.
Was that in Frozen Empire?
In Frozen Empire. There was a bunch of weird jokes being made about a
was
BDSM
it Paul
chamber.
Rudd? Was it Paul Rudd saying it?
I don't remember if it involved the teenagers in that scene, but it was weird. Yeah. Didn't feel like it belonged in a family movie.
Doesn't discount her as a good as a good choice to play Rapunzel though.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be mad at that decision. Matthew Boloney at Puck News revealed that Disney executives told him the anti-woke shift within the company is now well known. He said in the article, Disney is about to cast a new Rapunzel. I'll bet you the price of that long braided wig that the gig will go to a white actress. And he stopped short of naming any names, but also it's been reported that Scarlett Johansson is being eyed to star as Mother Gothel in the movie.
It's a missed opportunity. Kathryn Hahn is right there.
I don't want ScarJo as Mother Gothel. And it's not anything against ScarJo. It's just the fact that Mother Gothel is supposed to be an ugly old hag. Well,
Kathryn Hahn is.
It's like casting Gal Gadot as the evil queen even makes more sense than that. Yeah. Look, Mother Gothel is not supposed to be this steamy, hot brunette with big tits, okay? That's not Mother Gothel, okay?
So who would you cast?
Doesn't make any sense. I agree with you. Kathryn Hahn would be perfect.
Kathryn Hahn is the go-to now in Hollywood because she, in a lot of ways, she's not ugly. She's conventionally attractive. She's just, older than a lot of the younger Hollywood actresses, but she's got such unique and biting charisma that it seems like a role like that is almost made for her. Should have cast her as the evil queen.
Well, I at least understood picking a conventionally attractive actress for the evil queen because, in the animated Snow White, she is conventionally beautiful. Mm-hmm. She just wants to be more beautiful than Snow White. They also add, following the election and DEI crackdowns, Disney joined a number of major studios who scaled back or eradicated their DEI departments. Matthew Boloney at Puck reported that Disney staffers told him the company's top HR executive, Sonia Coleman, sent a company-wide email last week informing workers that DEI was no more. Coleman said that the DEI department was now rebranded as Opportunity and Inclusion, which was meant to empower all through access, opportunity, and a culture of belonging, which I guess means like white people are included now. I don't know how they're gonna.
I mean, honestly,
sidestep
the movie
that.
needs to be made of like the white guy going into that office and asking for opportunity.
Yeah, where's my access? And then they also mentioned that Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery have publicly announced ending DEI initiatives. Is that true? I didn't see that.
Yes, but like I said, most of them reorganize these under different names
Right.
in different divisions. It's
So
not
what's Bridge?
Bridge is like the successor to that.
Hold on,
you can
let me
look it
see.
up. It's there's whole channels that cover this stuff. They're not getting rid of these types of programs. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is built into the middle management system at these Fortune 500 companies, a lot of which get their funding, or they get a lot of support from companies like BlackRock, companies like State Street and Vanguard, which are heavy and put a lot of emphasis on the importance of equity programs.
I'm looking at this. It says something about Bridge. Okay, wait. So it's about IMAX.
No, it's not.
Right?
That. It's not that. No.
No?
It's Bridge.
It's like
is
a
just,
newer thing?
Bridge is just DEI rebranded.
Is it an acronym?
I don't know if it's an acronym. Probably.
DEI group Bridge boosts. Wait, what? This is so confusing. It seems like it should be an acronym.
The point being that, the name DEI is what people have become averse to. But equity programs, most people don't even know what equity means.
Okay. So Bridge is an acronym for belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity. The G is the gap, and the E is for equity.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter because equity programs are what matter.
Bridge is an independent, action-oriented, purpose-driven DEI trade group for the global marketing industry. They say their mission is to move the narrative of DEI from a philosophy to operationalizing inclusion as a business practice.
Yep.
This transforms DEI from the job of one to the job of all and removes its dependency on a function of opinions and beliefs and places its success squarely on patterns of behavior, policy, and processes integrated across the organization. Okay, so that's just a bunch of corporate slop
speak,
word
yep.
salad. Interesting.
Yep.
I hadn't heard of that until
because the
today.
thing is like in 2 years, then nobody knows what they're talking about. When they said like we have a bridge program, most people are like, oh, okay, that sounds great, because the name doesn't have anything toxic to it the way DEI does.
They say it's a comprehensive DEI framework to help companies identify, deconstruct, and rethink their own structural gaps that contribute to inequities. This agenda includes multiple layers of standards, best practices, and interactive workshop sessions.
Yep.
This is incredibly sus. Says they've been sponsored now by Colgate, Sephora, and Campbell's. This is so weird.
Yep.
Okay.
The point
they just
being
came up
that-
with a new disguise, basically.
Look, it doesn't matter because it is hilarious that now it is controversial that Rapunzel would be played by a white actress is somehow like something to report on.
Well, so they wanted an Indian actress specifically.
Avantika, that was her name.
Yes,
Avantika or
that is her
something
name.
like that.
They wanted her because it was something about how like their hair means a lot to them culturally, and like Rapunzel's hair obviously is a huge part of the story.
There's a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie says, a young McKenna Grace hit it out of the park in a charming film with Chris Evans where she plays a child prodigy being manipulated by her math whiz mother. Highly underrated. So she's Millie Bobby Brown got the career that McKenna Grace should have gotten.
And we can't forget to mention, of course, that they never once advocated for any of the princes or love interests in these stories to get race swapped. They want a white Prince Charming. They want the white prince in all of these movies because of a weird, fantasy about being the love object of the white man.
See, look at this here. Like this person, this is for that post where it says Tangled live action is in development, and somebody put this with Scarlett Johansson, and then somebody goes, nah.
It has to be her.
There you go.
It has to be Catherine
Just
Hahn.
do Catherine Hahn. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.